Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today I wanted to touch on one of the most important topics that I think is going to be very beneficial to the free-to-play individuals who are looking to try and level and progress their account as quickly as possible. We touched on this a little bit in the best practices video guide, but I wanted to touch on it here when it comes to which heroes should you be focusing on first. And then we're also going to go over a little bit of the tech trees on which ones you can go kind of up to a certain point. And then we'll take a look and kind of see for ourselves what other additional paths we can meet with the remaining points that we may get. So before we get started, as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you sub, like, ring the notification bell. And of course, if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, hit up the Discord. You can find a link to that in the pinned comment description right down below. So starting off, I think the most important heroes in the game when you're just starting out for the free-to-play, focusing on purely development, trying to progress your account as quickly as possible, is gatherers. When it comes to leveling them first, then it would be peacekeepers, then it would be your kind of PvP focused heroes. And even though, as I mentioned before, or just earlier, we did touch on this in the best practices guide video, but I really wanted to hammer the point home here more specifically in a solo video. The reason why I say this is because I've been pretty much playing and logging in often, where maybe it's anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day. This is kind of on and off, right? It's not straight, obviously. But I have been logging in consistently. And one of the things I've been noticing is that the gathering early on when you're free to play and you're trying to work your way to get to that 4th March, which obviously is really going to end up helping, you'll notice that you don't get that though until 17, right? And so you might do well enough in the beginning and grind, but really until you get that 4th and then hopefully later that 5th March, right at 22, that's when you'll probably start having an easier time on the gathering. But I notice in the beginning, I have been kind of struggling for resources here and there, also helping out and factoring in building. So that's probably something else that I could probably take a little bit more of an account into, where it's, maybe I just dedicate 1 March to building or destroying, right? But then sometimes you might need to dedicate 2 marches, right? Especially early on. You might need to send 1 to build and maybe 1 to destroy, or maybe you're building 2 flags at a time, right? So there's different approaches that you can take depending on the needs of your alliance in that moment. But I like to kind of go off the general rule of thumb of, hey, we'll send 1 march minimum to build, and all the other marches will basically be for us to go ahead and gather, right? Go do the PvE to burn the command points, and then doing your gathering after you do so, right? Or forts if you want to do those. But long story short is I just think gathering is really important from what my early free-to-play experience has been so far. So as you can see here, right, initially I actually started leveling up Nika, and then I went to Eliana, and then I went to Guanwin. But what I started realizing is that I just really needed to have faster gathering speed. And there's some good bonuses that you'll get from them. Right now, obviously there's only 2 gatherers in the game right now, as far as ones that have gathering talents. You do have Ordo here, who does have a gathering speed bonus for mana that he gets, but outside of that, that's pretty much it, right? So, and there's no talents for him, right? Because you can see that here, engineering, right, would be the middle one. So in this case, right, the focus really should be on Chakcha and then Kella, who we should be focusing on leveling up first. You want to get them to level 42. This is important. I'm going to explain why. So if we go into talents, you'll see that I'm currently at level, 38? So I got 4 points left. Right, well, 4 points until I can kind of get to the max. Or I guess it's 5 points. So let me make sure I have this right here. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So it's 43. It's actually not 42. See, good thing we double checked. So here, you can see the path that I'm going. I have 4 more points for here, and then 1 point that I'll put in to one of these. Most likely it's going to end up being my receive additional items when you deplete a resource point, right? But I need 5 more points to do so. So you're getting your gatherers to 43. And let me start with the skills first, right? So on Chakcha, you basically want to go to 2nd skill, right? So you want to go to 2 stars first in order to get this unlocked. And then you just want to max this until 5. and then you can go ahead and just star up normal, max out the first skill, and then you can go ahead and star up normally. I don't really think there's an order. Maybe then you would probably start a 4 if you're able to, just so you can try and get some of the healing factor bonuses, and then basically just swap between 3rd skill and 4th skill. And then for Kella here, you want to get to 2nd skill, right? Because she'll get gold, and then I believe this is ore bonus, right? So the only one we're really missing is wood. We just don't really have a wood gatherer at the moment. And then with Kella, right, you go 2nd skill upgrade, then you open 3rd skill for that load legion capacity bonus, and then you can go ahead and max first. So you want to open 2nd skill at 2 stars, try to max this before active if you're lucky and able to. And if you get this to 5 before this gets to 5, then open another star and then start working on the 3rd skill, right? And then after that, you work on 1, then you go 4. So order is 2, 3, 1, 4 essentially is what you want to try and do. So now let's just talk about briefly, right? You have overall skills, and then we have overall support. So the only difference here between these two gatherers is skills versus support. So let's just start with the actual gathering tree. You have to do foundational talents. So the path I went is overall attack, increased march speed for legions. This is also going to help with transport, I believe, unless the transport unit speed is different, because I think there is a skill for that. So I probably have to get a clarification first. Logistics master increases legion speed, gathering speed by 9%. Obviously, we have to take the main one, and then we'll go into talent. So we'll do, right, and this is increases march speed of your legion's transport units, right? So I don't know if the first march speed is just like an overall march speed for everything, or if it's separate, because you can see the worded text is different. Then we'll go veteran goldsmith, because I wanted to play into the gold bonus that Kella's already getting. And so that's what I try to do. So if you're able to go in, and there's 1 talent per each of the 4 gathering types. So I like to use one of these going into the gather type that my hero is. So we went goldsmith, then we went increases ore gather speed by 25%, right? And then there's mana gather speed and load capacity. So I just thought doing this is nice because I at least get some more gather on an opposite side. Then we and also because I couldn't go mana, right? Anyways, excuse me, I could have, but someone else was already gathering for that. So this says increases legions gather speed by 20% and reduces their load capacity by 10. I opted for that instead of the opposite, which is gather speed reduced by 10, load capacity increased by 20, because you're eventually going to get the max load capacity that you need for the largest tile over a period of time. So that's why we opted for gathering speed 20% increase. Then we went increases march speed of your Legion's transfer units by another 25%. So now we're at 50% versus any of these. Legion capacity, same thing. You're going to end up maxing that out. Then we went increases your Legion's overall gather speed by 15% versus if we went transport units take less damage, or 10% immunity slow chance if your Legion's attacked. Which then leads us going into Earth's Grace, which is when a Legion finishes gathering resources, the hero receives experience based on a percentage. I believe this it's going to max at 2% of the number of resources gathered up to maximum of 20,000 XP per day. So I'll max this out, and then we go into the final talents here, right? Which is receive additional reward items when your Legion depletes a resource point, so you get extra resources when you finish a tile. Or when your Legion has been gathering for 1 hour and completes the task, resource production in your city increases by 50% for 1 hour. Now, I think this is okay. I like this talent potentially once you get your RSS production buildings at max level. I could see you doing like a skill swap or a talent swap here. But I think in the beginning, it's more important to do it here because you just can't proc this. You have to finish off the entire... you have to finish off the entire tile. So unless you're going to be on microing this every hour and timing these out where you can basically have this back to back to back, good on you, right? Then I would say if you're able to be that specific with it, you may want to just take this. However, I think it'll be more important once you get your RSS productions to that level, because then you'll be able to start using this talent for certain events that give you rewards based on your city production, right, over a 24-hour period. Then, at this point, right, we're at level 43. Remember, we can go to 60. So, arguably, we should have 17 to 18 points left to go into. This is where it gets interesting. So, if we look at overall, right, we got HP, attack, we got Legion's march speed, We got defense, Legion deals damage, maximum Legion capacity. That could be something as an option. Legion's resistance when taking damage. We have Legion hit with normal attack, right, is gain... oh, wow, this is actually not bad. When your Legion is hit with a normal attack, they gain 10 additional rage. This effect can be triggered once every second. So, that's, again, not bad. Increases all healing received by your Legion by 1%. Increases shields received. Okay, so that's actually not bad, Noble Contract. When your Legion gains a buff effect, they gain 20 rage. That's actually not bad. I really like the kind of proccing options that might present. Reduces severely, counterattack damage, mage. When your Legion normal attack, haste... Legion's Cavalry. Legion's unit controls less than 50%. They do a feel. Okay, when recasting rage skills, your Legion gains Keen and Shelter, increases attack, defense. Okay, so let's go. Let's look at support. Support to me seems like the one we might opt for. Increases HP of your Legion. Damage attack. Your Legion's. Oh, what is that? Increases your Legion's healing granted. Okay, launching a normal attack has 10% chance to gain rage. Okay, less damage. Increases deck. Increases Legion's shield. Every time your Legion gains a buff, HP, okay. HP increases, removes debuff effect for your Legion when they cast Rage Skill. Your Legion, let's see if there's anything else. The debuff, attack, has a 10% chance of receiving heal when hit with a normal attack. Okay. When casting Rage Skills, your Legion's 20% chance to gain a resistance, reducing. Okay, that's actually not bad. Let's see this. Gain 10 additional Rage when your Legion receives healing or a shield. When launching a normal attack, your Legion has 10% chance to gain Synergy. No, Legion takes skill. Let's see. When recasting Rage Skills, grants haste up to 5 nearby. Ooh, this isn't bad. Increasing their march to 20%. When the hero's Legion is healed, it deals skill damage to the target Legion affected by... Oh, wow. Damage factor affected by Legion's attack. This effect can be triggered once every time. So not bad. So I'm kind of leaning a little bit here on overall for where I might spend some of the additional points that we ended up seeing. I think it's going to be interesting just on what route you take specifically. For whatever reason, I feel like the Legion capacity is something I could make use of. And then possibly the march speed, I think, could be something as well. And let me see what they have here. Legion enters battle resistance and then normal attack. Right, I like this one. When your Legion is hit with a normal attack, they gain 10% additional rage, 10 additional rage. That's a flat rage increase. So I actually kind of like that. Which actually would probably put you at about 16, 17 points already. So maybe you were to do that, then you just put the rest in overall HP, just kind of one example on what to do. And then if we go into Chakcha, we could take a look at skills, right, just to see if there's anything there. So let me see, we got Legion takes less damage, HP... Launching normal attack 10% now. Right, let me see. When casting Rage Skills, your Legion's Deputy deals 15% more damage. Oh, wow. Well, that's actually not bad. Casting Rage Skills grants 40 additional rage. Oh. Your Legion's haste increases. Wow, they have a lot of like rage proccing stuff here. Which I guess makes sense. I mean, it's not as though you're going to find extra gathering skills here necessarily, which would be nice. If they did synergy buff, being hit with a normal attack, when casting Rage Skill does additional skill damage to the target Legion. Okay, not bad. Yeah, so it looks like maybe even going skill tree here might be more beneficial for Chakcha in the long run. But with that being said, hopefully we at least did a good job of covering what you can do here. Next, really, I would say is kind of going in the peacekeeping route. So that's really where, as free-to-play, you probably want to focus on your epics first, right? Being Eliana, Guanwin, and then eventually you can do Nika. And then obviously if you're able to unlock Lilia, then you can work on those. I'll probably go over peacekeeping and different tree builds that you can do there. However, this is just to give you a good idea on how you would really build out your gatherers and why it's important to try and work on leveling them first and foremost. With that, and remember, as a free-to-play, right? If you spend or you're just hard grinding in some way where maybe you think it's viable to not necessarily focus on them, even though I really lean that more in the direction of if you're kind of a mid-high spender, that's different. But for free-to-play, low spend, my recommendation is to do this if you want to min-max and develop your account as fast as possible. With all of that being said, that is it for me. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts, your comments, right? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why not? Do you like the path? Do you have a different path? Do you have something else that's really been working for you and you've tried this already? I would love to hear that in the comments down below. That is it for me. As always, until next time, I'll catch y'all later.